Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an exciting video lined up as we delve into the 5 major changes and developments expected to shape Nashville in 2024. Whether you're a resident or an investor in the Nashville market, you're going to want to know what to expect in 2024. So at the end of this video, be sure to stay tuned the whole way because we're going to get into the biggest development that has ever hit Nashville. So stay tuned. And if you want to be the first to know about content like this, Nashville, Middle Tennessee focused content, be sure to subscribe. We plan on being around for a long time. We're a newer channel, but we plan on getting better and better and giving you great content in the weeks, months, and years ahead. So first up, number one, obviously we need to start with the housing market in 2024. So the National Association of Realtors predicted recently that Nashville is to experience a surge in buyer demand in 2024. So they cited a recent report ranked Nashville among the markets with the highest pent-up demand. So this means the real estate landscape's set to change. And from personal experience, even this weekend, so this is first week of January, so right after the holidays, the first real weekend of houses being on the market in 2024, 2 of my clients ended up in a situations where they were potentially looking at multiple offers, and one of them actually was in a multiple offer situation, and we were really concerned about it for another house. So both of those houses were on the market 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 days. So that's just something that I'm seeing in real life. Now, my personal prediction for the housing market in Nashville in 2024, I think there is a lot of pent-up demand. And as we do have interest rates that go down slightly, I think sellers are going to feel more comfortable with getting houses on the market. I don't think we're going to be in a 2020 situation. I don't think I'm going to be going against, or you're potentially going to be going against 10 offers, but you could potentially be, if you're a buyer, you could be potentially looking at 1 or 2 other offers that will keep things competitive. So I would liken that to what we saw prior to 2020. So 2018, 2019, where we were still a hot market, but 2020 just kind of like totally put that on steroids. So I think we're going to be in a more healthy market. If you're a seller, I do think 2024 is going to be better. So if you have a life change or something that needs to happen, or you're wanting to move up, your family's growing, I think this is a decent time to get back into the market. I think we are on the up. And for buyers, I think it's definitely better than it was in 2020, but I do think you're going to have to be on your game. Just be aware that there could potentially be other people in the market. But overall, I do think we're going to have a more flat year compared to 2020, but it is going to be on the slight increased. If I had to guess from 2024 to 2025, maybe a 2, 3, or 4% increase. That would be my prediction. Now, getting into the rental market, number 2, luxury rental prices are anticipated to drop in 2024. According to predictions, overpriced luxury rentals will see decreases, making it an interesting time for those who are looking for more of a high-end living space. Now, if you are an investor and you're getting into the rental market, you need to know that on the higher end in the nicer areas and where you're trying to get more rents, you're up against a lot of concessions. So in my opinion, if I were you, I would consider being as competitive on rents as possible. Keep your tenants happy and try not to have any vacancy because you are up against a lot of concessions. Some of these larger apartment buildings that are just being built are giving away months of rent right now. So they're not really decreasing rents, but they are giving a lot of months free. So that's just something to be aware of. If you are an investor as well, you may want to also just change up your investing style. Like, try to get into more affordable renting, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes that are all sprinkled out throughout the city near the city center. That's what I currently do. I try to do a really good job with them and have affordable rents that lots of people are interested in renting. So if you are an investor, I'd consider maybe looking at that strategy. And if you're a renter, it's a decent time to, if you're looking on the higher end, you're going to have a heyday looking at rentals. Now, I think we're still seeing on the affordable side less options. So, good and bad news is on the affordable side, you're still competing and you're having a hard time finding. And I think that's going to continue in 2024. Number 3, I'm going to get a little bit into transportation, traffic, and the airport, specifically at BNA. Get ready for some major changes at BNA. So in 2023, we all know that BNA underwent a significant transformation, and this momentum continues in 2024. New nonstop flights have been added, which is great, and explosive construction is underway, including terminal garage, which is not done yet, a hotel that's expanding the area, and a whole lot more. If you've been in the area, you've noticed that the airport area has been very, very busy. Traffic has been backed up along 40 and other spots all around the airport at weird times of day even. So if you're paying attention to that to me in 2024 is going to continue, but there's good and bad things that come with that. Like Southwest just announced that there's going to be another base here for a lot of their employees. So that's going to be 1,300, I think, 1,000 or more good jobs that are coming to the area. But with that, it's just going to be more traffic. So I think BNA and the city is aware that they have a traffic issue. It may get worse before it gets better, but they are, I think, working on it. Overall, in my opinion, I love that the airport is one of the coolest, nicest airports in the country. Which it's a great thing, but with that comes some of the negative, which is some of the traffic issues that we're going to deal with in 2024. Which brings us to number 4. As for accommodations around BNA, get ready for an influx of upscale hotels. Hotels like the Gulch Project Hotel, Spring Hill Suites, 408 Woodland Street Hotel, Nashville Marriott in downtown, Caption by Hyatt, Ritz-Carlton, the Autograph Collection downtown. There's just so many new hotels that are on the way to be built and will be built over the next few years. If you're into the short-term rental market, which kind of brings that up, if you're into short-term rentals, that's something interesting to know. In Nashville, it's really, really hard to get a short-term rental permit. You have to be zoned almost like a hotel in order for that to happen. So I think that's good and bad. So if you're into getting into short-term rentals here, obviously there are powers at play to make it more difficult for you. If there's a lot of hotels that are hitting the market, I would think that has something to do with that. But also, if you with challenge, I think comes opportunity. So if you can get into a short-term rental that is zoned correctly, we're not going to be as saturated as a market like the mountains over in Tennessee nearby or in areas of Florida or others. So I think Nashville could potentially be a great market if you're willing to pay a premium price for that premium zoning. And as we get into 2024, I've seen that those prices have been coming down because we're in the off season and it's been very difficult to sell these. So it's not the same kind of rush to buy these short-term rental eligible properties. There's been a huge decrease in demand. So with that, I think does come some opportunity for the investor if that's something you're into for 2024. All right. And so for number 5, this is the biggest development that has already started and in 2022 is announced originally. And this is the Colossal development project at the East Bank called the East Bank Redevelopment. City planners are gearing up to transform hundreds of acres along the Cumberland River, making it the largest redevelopment project in Nashville's history. Now, it's been dubbed Imagine East Nashville. The proposal envisions a pier, boat docks, parks, greenways, bridges. Just it's going to be a completely different river, which I'm kind of excited about personally. And now related to that, with all of that construction, which is kind of being driven by Oracle, which is moving to the area, there is a $2.1 billion deal for a new Titan Stadium in the works. So that was announced in 2023, and that was pushed along by the city to make that an actual reality in the coming years. Now, none of this stuff is going to actually be finished in 2024, but I do think that we're going to see a lot of that construction begin. There's not a lot of information on when and where and who and what, but you can bet that we're going to really start getting into the meat and potatoes of that in 2024. And it's interesting that we don't have a lot of that information yet, at least from what I could find, which I'm not like investigative journalist or anything, but from my research, I couldn't find a lot of details on what exactly is planned in terms of the timelines that things are happening. Now, I've got my screen up here. This is from the Tennessean, which is our local newspaper. I just wanted to, they've got like an interactive downtown map that kind of shows what's happening. Right here is the stadium. It's going to be a huge project. And what's really cool about this is there's going to be a 100-acre neighborhood around that, which is really cool because there's not really a neighborhood around there. So they're going to develop that. Now with that, there's got to come a lot of other infrastructure. Grocery store, for one, is going to be huge over there. I think the city did announce that there's going to be some affordable housing with that, but I mean, my prediction would be that this is going to raise real estate prices overall in the area. We've also got, as I said, Oracle's headquarters is going to be the centerpiece of this 120-acre project right in this area. Already towers and offices and housing construction is underway. Parks, shops, activated riverfront are in the works right along there. And then going up around the bend, let me click on this bit of information. The Riverside, 1108 West Trinity Lane, a $2.5 billion North Nashville redevelopment that will cover 65 acres with office and housing towers and public amenities like restaurants and parks. And if you're not familiar with Nashville now, like what's happening on this river now is largely industrial and, kind of a strange conglomeration of different kinds of businesses. So this will be a huge redevelopment. And I think what's exciting about it is I think it's going to make Nashville one of the premier river cities because of all the money that's being spent on the river. But again, if you're local and you're kind of concerned about what that actually involves, because this is going to be a 3 or 4 year process, you probably have a right to be. But overall, I'm an optimist. I like it for the city. I do think that with that, housing prices are going to go up. It's going to be a huge change in what is currently over here in North Nashville, a lot more development. With Oracle's move, there's going to be thousands of really, 6-figure jobs coming in. So that's going to change the fabric of the city in that area. So that's something that's really big, and it's not going to get done in 2024. But I do think we're going to start getting more answers and timelines and start seeing how this actually affects the city in terms of traffic and everything else. And there you have it, folks. The 5 major changes and developments to expect in Nashville in 2024. From real estate dynamics to city projects and airport expansions, it's shaping up to be a really eventful year for the Music City. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let us know in the comments which developments you're most excited about or concerned about. Until next time, stay tuned for more content like this, and we'll see you soon.